So today on the channel we're driving this 2017 Audi A3 Cabriolet, and of course as you can see this is not a great day for it. But hey, we're here anyways, and if you continue to watch this video, I want you to comment below, I was here. But so the specific example we have here today has 98,000 miles on it and is listed on the First International Auto Group site for $15,500. And what a spec we have here today in the Cosmo Blue metallic exterior color combined with the rock gray interior. This car is just absolutely lovely. I really do like this pairing. We have a 2-liter inline turbo 4 making 220 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. This Cabriolet A3 is an all-wheel drive Quattro model, Premium Plus. So we have lots of bells and whistles in here, such as keyless entry, push button start. Of course, we have the ability to drop our convertible top with the push of a button, which is very nice. We have dual climate control, heated seats, Apple CarPlay, which is integrated with USB, and much, much more. Like literally AFK. Who just stops paying attention, stops driving at a stop sign, and literally just sits there on their phone, just completely oblivious to what's around them? I don't know. Total NPC moment. So you may ask, why get all-wheel drive in this S-Line Audi A3? And my answer to that is more power. You get 34 more horsepower and a 6-speed dual clutch rather than a 7-speed. So great low-end torque. This car really works for you. That 6-speed dual clutch S-Tronic is just incredibly fast and a pleasure to drive. So getting up to highway speeds is no problem for this A3. 0 to 60 comes in 6.6 seconds, and honestly it feels a lot faster than that. I would point this thing at like 5.2 in my opinion. Of course I haven't specifically tested it, and I don't doubt those tests are real, but it just has a lot more sensation in this Audi A3 than you get in a lot of cars that are pointing 0 to 60 numbers in the 6-second range. But you know, even with the all-wheel drive system, this thing is zippy. Low curb weight, even with the convertible top. I mean, this thing would just be so much fun on a summer's day, especially in terms of back road driving. You know, the steering in dynamic mode is pretty good. And at highway speeds with this drop top up, it is a little loud in here. Of course, you're not going to have the added refinement that you get in the hardtop models, such as that 2016 A3 4-door model that we drove about last year. And there is an additional 5-door model hatchback, which is sold in other countries, just not in the US. I'm just really loving how quick and agile this dual clutch is. Reminds me a lot of my Elantra N-Line for that matter. I feel like it has a very similar transmission feel. And you know, that's a compliment, even though of course, you know, you think Audi is this premium luxury brand, which it is. You know, 2017 dual clutches were not as good as the ones in 2021, and that Elantra N-Line dual clutch is specifically very good for, you know, those people who haven't driven that car. And same goes for the Elantra N. I would definitely recommend driving both of those. Anyways, so what do I think about this interior? Of course, we have some cheap plastic up on the top of this dashboard, but for the most part, it's very nice in here. I love these rock gray leather seats. They're very comfortable. Although I will say the back adjustment is a little weird. It's like this twisty wheel that you kind of have to just keep turning to get it up and down. It's manual adjustment, whereas the part that puts the seat up and down is electronic. So that part is a little off-putting. I don't really understand why they did that. But you also have a button to adjust lumbar support electronically. As far as visibility goes, we have great visibility out the front and the sides. We also have blind spot monitoring. Really the only place you're compromised is the rear, especially because of those rear seats kind of take up some of your view along with the convertible top. Regarding backseat usability, those seats are best used for someone who is not an adult. I would definitely recommend not putting your adult friends back there unless you want to have a laugh and see them struggle to fit their legs behind the front seats. And this front seat is really where I like to be. I feel like the suspension is nicely and softly sprung. These harsh bumps aren't going over too badly in this tiny car. And I will say that I think if they stiffened the suspension a bit, it would tighten up the steering to make it more of like a sports car oriented experience, which would be nice, but I understand that most people who buy these are just looking for, you know, kind of a roundabout car for the summer, and I totally get that. I would seriously love one of these with a 6-speed manual. They did not offer it in the United States, and actually just before I started driving this Audi A3 today, I Googled that and I was very disappointed. And you know why I Googled that? Because I would totally buy one of these myself. Though I'm just not looking for an automatic convertible. I feel like if I'm going to get a convertible car, I need it to also be a 6-speed. I just feel like that's the perfect combination. And yes, you can shift this thing into manual mode and control those gears yourself. It's just not the same experience. And with the digital dashboard and, you know, the MMI screen, which has Apple CarPlay, this really isn't the experience I'm looking for in terms of analog. I feel like since I own a 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E at the moment, I'm really just kind of craving something without all these screens, without all the lights in my face, especially at night. So this makes me think Miata is the answer. And some people will comment that Miata is always the answer, and that might be true. So controlling the gears to this Audi A3, downshifts come a little bit slower than you would want them to. I feel like I would want that to be a little bit more snappy, though I really do like the suspension in automatic. Though I really do like the transmission in automatic mode. And I think a lot of people underestimate these Audi A3s. They're agile, they're fun. I feel like they're just such a good time. They're very tossable in terms of like almost the same characteristics as Miatas and as like the Audi TT, as well as the BMW Z3 and Z4. I just feel like these little roadsters are just what makes things so much fun to drive. I just feel like these roadsters are what make driving so much fun. This inline 4 has a lot of low end torque, which is really fun. Really great to maneuver this car around. You can merge on the highway no problem. This Audi A3 also makes a fairly comfortable daily driver, and I feel like it's a little bit more balanced than people might think. When people think of convertibles, they're always like, oh, well, you know, it's not much, you know, very practical car, which, you know, in this case, the trunk isn't all that great. You don't have a ton of room back there due to the storage of this convertible top. However, the seats still fold down so you can get some access from the trunk into the cabin. You won't really be able to get a ladder or anything like that back there, but you may be able to get some bins maybe on either side. There's just not really a lot of clearance there. And so although this thing might just be, you know, a weekend car, maybe a grocery getter at best, there is some practicality and there's a lot of comfort. And so if you're considering an Audi A3, leave your comments below, leave your questions, and I would be happy to answer them. Unfortunately, I didn't get a top-down experience today, so I apologize for not getting that on the channel with this review. I'm just as disappointed as you are, I promise. With that being said, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.